my dears, welcome to this week's live training session. Today I want to talk to you about long haul and how if you want to make any significant change in your life, whether it's changing a career, changing your location, changing your gender as I have done, you have to be thinking about the long haul. It's not just the short haul. Hi guys, welcome to this week's training video. This week I want to talk to you around the subject of long haul and why if you want to make any significant change in your life, you have to understand that it's about the long haul. It's not just about making a change and then expecting everything to happen. Okay, so any of you watching these videos, if you've been watching my journey since the start, you will see that in April 2012 I made the decision, and it took around 4 years. Hi guys, welcome to this week's training video. This week I'm going to talk to you about the long haul and why if you want to make any significant kind of change, it has to be about the long haul, not just about short-term goals and gains. Okay, and if you're watching these training videos or has watched my blogs from the start will know that I've been transitioning now for a period of 5 years. So in April 2012 I made the decision to transition. I then started taking hormones, and it took me until April 2016, last year, to have the surgery. So I was very lucky because here in the UK, 4 years from making the decision to having the surgery isn't that long a period, but certainly the person you see in front of you now has taken 5 years. So even though I made the decision to transition and then I moved house in the July of 2012 and I started living socially, it's taken me a very, very long time to get to this position, and certainly there's been a lot of struggles that I've gone through, but before I start sharing that with you, I want to talk to you about something that's really inspired me. So if you watched last week's session, I'm going to use the same coach in this week's session because it fits and is appropriate. Les Brown is a coach who's been inspiring people through talks, shows, podcasts, YouTube videos, you name it, this guy's done it, but Les Brown has been a coach in the motivation arena for many, many years now. He has this metaphor about a Chinese bamboo tree. Now, if you don't know about a Chinese bamboo tree, essentially there's a bamboo tree in China that takes 5 years to grow. So from planting the plant, you have to water and fertilize it every day, and throughout that process, nothing appears through the ground, and then in 6 weeks, in the 5th year, it grows 90 feet. Now, some people would say that it only takes 6 weeks to grow 90 feet. Other people would say, and certainly I would agree, and this is what Les teaches, that it takes 5 years for the Chinese bamboo plant to grow to 90 feet. And if at any point in that 5-year period, if someone forgets to stop watering, fertilizing this plant, it dies. It's the same with any goal that you have. It's the same with any significant change with something that you're going to have to do that's going to take a long time to do. It's not an overnight thing. You are going to have to go through a lot of difficulties, whether you're going to have to move areas, which I did, whether you're going to have to lose family, you're going to have to lose friends, you're going to have to go through stresses and pressures. I went through bulimia and depression very early on in my transition because I had no one who was a real friend other than the people that I was associating with at work, who were acquaintances. They're lovely people, but I don't socialise with them outside of work. So I did really struggle. I felt isolated, and then in seeking the support of my peers, in going to a transgender support group, I was finally able to speak to others who understand my journey, who I could have takeaways from, who would give me things that I could learn and apply to my transition, and therefore be far happier. So, this hasn't all been easy. It certainly hasn't been an easy ride. I've been shouted at in the street. I've been sexually assaulted. I've had people throwing things at me. I've been, called all the names under the sun, but I've still had to keep going. And, I think the bamboo tree is a really good metaphor for someone who is transgender. When we make the decision to transition, we want everything there and then. When I first made the decision and I thought about how long it would be, it felt like forever. But looking back now, those 3, 4, 5 years it's taken me to transition and be the person standing in front of you now, it's just a short period in the time of my life. And it's the same as if you transition the other way as well. I have a friend who's just gone through chest surgery, and they're having to take things slowly for 3 or 4 weeks while their chest and their nipples and everything settle. But those 3 and 4 weeks, whilst they're incredibly frustrating in the time, such a short period of your life, and the thing that you have afterwards is so great. And it was the same with me when I had my surgery. I was signed off work for 3 months, and certainly for the first, I think it's probably because of my age, and also I have no spleen, so I struggle with infection and stuff. So when I had my operation, I was 43, and there was a girl who had surgery same time as me, and like within a day of having the surgery, she was up and about. I had extra issues with bleeding, so I had to have my pack on for a further 24 hours rather than the normal 24 hours. So I was so frustrated at the lack of progress. But looking back now, that 6-week period when I first got home, and then I was really struggling with pain, and then it was only then that I started to manage to go out and do little things like go to the shops, go out in the car and stuff. That times, whilst it seemed forever, looking back, it was such a insignificant small period of my life. So when you're going through any change, if you're struggling, you have to remember, are you in this for the long haul or the short haul? Now, I personally was in this for the long haul. I knew that whatever happened, I was going to transition. I was going to get there eventually. And one of the things that I think transgender people really suffer with is, because we've made the decision to transition, and if we're going to go down the surgical route, and I'm going to use this as a reference because it's one that I have a lot of experience supporting, and also in my own journey as well, you want everything to happen like that. You want the time between appointments to be to be quick, and quite often, most gender clinics, if you're not going private, you're going to wait 12 to 18 months between appointments. And I was in that same position, and I was so frustrated. But you have to understand, once you've made the decision and you're on that path for change, you're already there. You're already becoming the person that you want to be. And I promise you, if someone had said to me, you could have everything that you want, like if I could have had what I have now 5 years ago, I would have went, yeah, I would love to, absolutely. But I know, looking back, if I'd have had that now, if I'd have had then what I have now, I wouldn't know how to cope. You have to understand the struggles that you go through very early on in any significant period of change. Are the lessons there that are going to help you in the process of becoming that person? Now I've been in a position where I have been sexually assaulted in a nightclub. I know the things to do it, and I know how I would defend myself in that respect now, because I've been in it and experienced it. The hate that I've received in the street, I always tend to ignore that, but I'm in a position where I would report it, because if the people don't report hate crimes, then certainly no one's going to help them. It's all about learning from your mistakes, and a mistake isn't a mistake unless you don't learn from it. A mistake is a lesson. It's giving you something to learn that you can take away and improve your character with. So don't look at any prolonged period of change that you're working towards and it feels like you're not making progress. Don't look at it as though you're not making the progress, because I guarantee if you'd have been sitting in your car on your drive, and rather than getting out and driving and then just you know where you're going, but you don't know how you're going to get there, but you just go. You have to start the journey. If you just sit there in the fucking car, you're never going to start. Apart from never going to start, you're never going to get there. Transition or any massive change that you have to make in your life has to come from a place of understanding that you're going to be in it for the long haul. And the most wonderful, beautiful thing is that you grow into this person. I look back at my early blogs and I see someone who's not confident, who's crap in front of the camera, who isn't very articulate, and I look at the person now, and I think, who is that? It's like I am a totally different person, but I think because I'm living my truth and I'm not putting too much pressure on myself and I'm enjoying the process and the person that I'm growing and becoming, I've had a far happier transition, I think, than some people do. I have known people who have got to the end of their physical transition, and they're bitter, twisted people. They're still good people, but the whole part of them is bitter and twisted about how long it's taken. And for me, that's really sad. I think that you have to understand with any period of change, it's going to take time. And just, if you're struggling, if you don't want to use my journey as a reference point and how it's taken me 5 years to get to the position I'm at in front of you now, think of the Chinese bamboo tree. At any point in that 5-year period, while it's growing under the ground, if you stop watering or fertilizing the bamboo tree or your dreams or your goals, it will die. You have to keep going. I'm in this for the long haul. I know that I haven't had my transition. I've had my full surgical transition, absolutely. But I'm still growing into the woman that I want to be. I'm still learning about how to be the best version of myself I can be through study, through blogging, through sharing, through writing, through supporting, and through sharing my journey. And I promise you, if you keep going, if you keep watering those dreams, if you keep fertilizing those ambitions, if you keep the change in mind, but just enjoy the process of becoming the person that you are, keep watering and fertilizing it, you will get there. So we want to thank everyone for watching this. If you know someone who is struggling in any period of change or transition, share this video with them. And I'm not saying this because I want loads of views. I'm saying this because when I was struggling with my journey very early on, and I was struggling to come to terms with making the decision, the very first thing that I did was I went on YouTube and I searched online for videos of people who had transitioned and stuff, and there wasn't really anything out there like this, but I could see, photos of people who shared their physical process and progress, and it kind of inspired me. So I hope that this will inspire. If this inspires one person, job done. That's why I do this thing. So I want to thank you everyone for watching. As I always say, be yourself, no one else, and I look forward to sharing next week's session with you. Until then, take care. Bye. Hello, mate.
Hi.
You alright? Oh, hello.
I'm just calling you from the house phone because my phone's not working.
Okay, how are you?
I'm fine. Are you okay?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't come to my text or Facebook message, so...
No, love, I've been vlogging. What's up?
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you said blocking. I just said, to come over, like, ASAP to send me lunchtime food.
Alright, love.
But I did send you a text, like, 15 minutes ago, so...
Sorry, darling. I did a blog and then it went wrong and then I've just done another one.